Lori Vallow is so full of shit, she may have gone septic. So, jury selection in Lori Vallow's trial is not broadcast, so I'm going to be condensing what I could find from reporters discussing what happened today. After the jury questionnaires this morning, the prosecutor asked the judge if they would go over his rulings. And the judge says, given what happened yesterday, I think it would be safer to issue written rulings, and that would be my record. He has 2 already done. He will finish the other 2 over lunch. If you haven't watched the previous videos of Lori, she has been getting loud and angry about his rulings, trying to have him removed. She's questioned the basis of the rulings, and he's just going to put it in writing. After that statement, the prosecutor said she wants it on record that when she references Charles's murder, she will say an incident in Chandler in July 2019 involving Lori Vallow and Alex Cox. It sounds to me like this is when they bring up in the actual trial, but they aren't allowed to talk about the case. So, the investigations are kind of mixed, so they have to do something to get around it, and this is the best they can do. Lori asks, when I have anyone on the stand who has testified prior in Idaho, can I use the terminology you testified in an earlier hearing so we don't go into what the trial is? How do you want me to handle that? And the judge said, just use in a prior proceeding. Lori, being Lori, wants him to explain it again, and he tells her to consult with her advisory council. He is fed up. It sounds to me like the judge is just done with Lori's games, and that could be why we had what happened later in the day. It's understandable that he's fed up with her. He has gone above and beyond to assist her, being pro se. They do that. And she is just getting more belligerent over time. Well, after lunch is where things take a new turn for the day. The judge announces jury selection cannot continue today. And there's talk with the jury who can come in on Monday, different issues. They get all of that worked out. But jury selection will now finish on Monday. The hope is by 3 p.m. And then opening statements would still be on Monday. So, hey, I guess nice for me, I can sleep in a little bit. There is talk of trial possibly now going on Friday, because if you remember, that Friday the trial was going dark and taking a day off because certain witnesses couldn't be there on that Friday. But it sounds like now they might have to make up for lost time, so witnesses will be pushed back. So it sounds like the judge is trying to still have this trial end by the expected dates, by just having a day that would have been off now filled. That's not guaranteed yet, from my understanding. I'm hoping that happens because I am really hoping this case ends before the Path of Exile 1 League so I can play with my friends at launch. With that being said, the written rulings are done and they will be handed out. And the judge says if Lori has issues in the jail and is quarantined, she needs to let her counsel know. So Lori is claiming she is feeling too sick to do the last few hours of jury selection today. Now, personally, I don't think that's the case. I think she's doing this to punish the judge because the judge pushed back against her. And if that's the case, and it works, because it obviously worked today, I could see when she gets mad mid-trial, things aren't going her way, or she's not getting to say the questions she wants to say, her revenge tour is getting interrupted, that she adds the judge to it, and claims she is too sick to proceed that day. I could see it. I could see her doing that. I could see her doing that and basically trying to screw up the whole case. If that happens, I don't know what the response is. Like, if she's doing it purposefully to prevent the trial from proceeding, I would assume there's a process where her advisory council takes over, but how do you do that against her wishes? It would become a whole spectacle, which is kind of what she does, right? So I trekked through Nate Eaton and True Hidden Crime, and this is what I could find. There is like a 22-second audio clip of the judge talking about if she gets quarantined in the jail. She has to notify her counsel, who will tell the court. But beyond that, we didn't even get the jury selection done, which is not great. So we had issues with the jury in the first trial where they lost 2 of them very quickly, and they had more they should have lost kept. And then the same jurors that caused issues during the trial caused issues after the trial, right? And here we are, where Lori is now interrupting the jury selection process for the next trial. It's going to be a mess. Again, I do plan to cover it. If you haven't watched my previous coverage, I'll explain it again real quick how I generally handle this. I like to record what happened. When there's a break of a decent size, I will take all of my notes. I will make a video. I will come back, do a fresh set of notes for the rest of the parts of the day. When the day is it's over, I'll combine my videos so that way it is a fresh take on what happened as it happens. And then I will premiere it, and I will be in the chat as much as possible, because remember, I have to schedule things around me doing this, so sometimes I'm a little torn during that time, but I try to be in chat and be active as much as I can. And I will continue that until the end of the trial. My hope is this trial ends before the Path of Exile 1 League, so that I can do day 1 with my friends. If it doesn't, I'm just going to have to sacrifice doing day 1 with my friends, and I will play it afterwards. So that sucks for me. Maybe Lori's doing this as a personal grudge against me. She's going to delay it just so I can't have that Path of Exile 1 League launch. She knows it. That's what she's doing. Maybe. But I want to thank you all. Appreciate it. If you subscribe, there is a notification bell that will let you know when my videos come out on Monday covering the trial. It'd be the best way. You can expect the videos to come out decently soon after the trial day ends, as long as nothing goes wrong, because by having the first segment already recorded, I just have to record the second segment and combine them. I upgraded my system, so the rendering process is much faster, so I try to get it out as soon as possible. There are some hiccups sometimes with premieres that way, getting them out as soon as possible, where the audio can get a little jumbled, but then it fixes itself. The best way to solve that is to refresh the page or go back about 10, 15 seconds. It's a YouTube issue. I'm going to mention it here. I can't do anything about it other than if I wanted to delay my video by like multiple hours, and I really don't want to do that because I like the idea of having that room for people to discuss what's happened in the trial. And if you already watched the trial, it's a little room where you can talk to some people about your thoughts of the day. So I don't really want to delay it too much, but that's what I wanted to get out there. She is claiming she's sick, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not buying she was too sick for a couple hours of jury selection. I don't believe it.